Hi there, John Decker here from Grasping at Creativity. I'm really excited to share with you this project that I've been working on for the last couple of weeks. Does anyone remember CGA Color Graphics Adapter by IBM? It was introduced in 1981. It was super cutting edge at the time. It was capable of over 100 artifact colors using a 16 color palette. Don't worry, most people don't remember that. What they do remember about CGA was that it had a basic color palette of black, magenta, cyan, and white. Keep in mind, most PCs back then only had the ability to make two colors, black and white, or black and yellow, or black and green, depending on what the highlight color was. Programmers had a huge memory size limitation back then too, so the more colors they packed into their program, the less likely the computer could actually run it. So more often than not, CGA just got used for its basic colors, black, magenta, cyan, and white. Something else I never thought about before this project, but video back in the 80s didn't exist on computers. Color Graphics Adapter couldn't do video at all, but that doesn't stop me from trying. So my project idea was to try to make video look like it was running on a Color Graphics Adapter Palette number 1 CRT monitor. Turns out it's harder than you might think. No one has made a consistently easy way to take 4K video and convert it into CGA Color Graphics Adapter Palette. You can compile some beta programs to kind of make it work, or you can render out every individual frame and convert them to index color and then put them all back together. It's a total pain. So I said to myself, John, look, Adobe implemented lookup tables in their most recent versions of Photoshop and Premiere, and lookup tables basically just take color information and assign it data from other color information. So maybe you could make a lookup table that would convert 4K video into Color Graphics Adapter. That way it could be used by everyone easily, and render time would be negligible. And that was my goal. There are a ton of videos on the internet that show how to make lookup tables and then use those lookup tables, or LUTs. This video isn't going to show you how to make this. It's just going to tell you how to implement the LUT in Adobe Premiere CC 2018 or Adobe Photoshop CC 2018. Now, LUTs do work with other versions of the Adobe products, but since those are the ones that I have, that's what I'm going to show you how to use them with. If you're new to LUTs, don't worry. They're just really advanced photo filters. If you need to pause the video and kind of catch up, do that. In the description below, you'll find a download link for a zip file that contains the LUTs and special PNG graphics. Did I mention they're free? Download that file to follow along from here on out. Now that you've downloaded the zip, you probably noticed it's password protected, and you realize that I made you watch all the way to this point in the video in order to get the password. That is, unless someone linked to this point in the comments below. The password for the zip file is GAC 2017 LUT 80. You'll see it on the screen here. Don't forget where you extract those files. Now let's go try these out in Photoshop and then in Premiere. To load a LUT into Photoshop, just open your project file and create a new Color Lookup adjustment layer. Open the 3D LUT drop-down menu and click Load 3D LUT. Browse to where you unpacked my freebies and select your favorite cube file. Cube is the extension of the LUT file, so you may not see cube if you have extensions hidden in your OS. The names of the file are really descriptive, so choose the LUT you want to try and let's continue. As soon as you load the LUT, it applies a non-destructive color alteration to your project. Now, assuming you loaded the adjustment layer on top of your previous layers, like I did, you will have a garish representation of whatever LUT color variant you've chosen. But John, it doesn't look right, and your example looked so much more vintagey in the video. Well, yeah, it did. Included in that zip that you got from me are a couple extra files to complete the look. There are several different CRT scanline PNGs that you can choose from based on your desired end result. Just place the scanline PNG in overlay mode on top of your new LUT layer. This should get you started on that vintage 80s PC look. For good measure, encapsulate the PSD project layers into a smart object under the LUT layer and apply a mosaic smart filter to that new object. In Photoshop, you can adjust the size of the mosaic block to match your chosen CRT lines overlay for a more accurate image breakup and digital look. By the way, you can use this method in motion graphics, animations, and video in Photoshop too. Looks fun? Let's go on to Premiere next. To apply the LUT in Premiere, load up your footage in your sequence, head to your Lumetri color grading section, and open the Creative Accordion panel. Click in the drop-down Look menu and browse to where you unpacked the zip that you downloaded from me. Pick your cube of choice and it will apply the LUT to whatever clip you had selected. You can also embed full sequences into another sequence if you want to color the whole sequence with the same LUT, but I'm certain you already knew that. Now apply a mosaic filter with 320 horizontal blocks and 200 vertical blocks to your working footage. I like the sharp colors look for this application too. Load the PNG scanlines file of your choice into your project and drag it on top of your newly color graded footage. In the Scanline Files Effects panel, choose Overlay as the blend mode. You'll find blend modes in the opacity section. And you're done. Well, sort of. You'll probably want to adjust the basics settings in your color footage just to get it to look right. Keep in mind these are high contrast LUTs, and if you have a low contrast or muddy, dark scene, you may lose a lot of detail. If you enjoy these LUTs and make something cool with them, share a link to your project in the comments. I'd love to see what you make. And don't forget to tell people to come here to Grasping at Creativity and watch the video to get their free vintage 80s PC LUTs. Thanks for watching. Help me out by liking, subscribing to the channel, and don't forget, keep grasping at creativity.